What's going on? In this video, we're going to be taking a look at this secret Halloween cave, triple tower entrance. I don't even know what you want to call it, right? But it's a cool build. Inside, I build like a gazebo-y sort of thing where there's like a little ritual area. So be exciting to see that. We also just hit 1,500 subscribers, which is pretty cool. So yeah, make sure you subscribe if you're new. Smash that like button. It really helps with the videos. It also helps to motivate me to carry on making more. Enough said. Let's get straight into it. Also use creator code TZB97 in the app shop. Let's go. So we start off, as always, needing to clear out the previous builds that are there because this is a Star Wars cave. If you hadn't figured it out. So I threw one of these Lost Isles creature things in there, hoping he'd break his way out. Sort of did. But anyway, it's time to start building. What I'm going for in this build is not like Haskins, but he did inspire the idea a little bit. How he has builds, they sort of come out and they go out all different angles and they sort of reconnect. So I thought I'd do something similar to that. So I've got like these 3 towers, yeah, and they're all going out, protruding from the cave, but they're all going in different directions. As symmetrical as I could get it with the limited directional building that we have. But yeah, it's more of an entrance than anything else. It's not like a castle or anything. It's nothing too big. It's just an entrance to get in, and then you've got 3 doors. Each of them contains something different. Obviously, one of them is the entrance to the cave. And then the idea for the cave, I'm going to try and do as much of a series as I can with all this Halloween hype and try and build like a village inside the cave. Obviously, if you saw my last video, I built that mansion in there. So if you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. I also helped somebody else build like a Halloween village for their video. So you'll see me appear in that at some point. But I wanted a lava cave, which is the best place to sort of create something like Halloweeny and spooky. Yeah, you could do it outside, but there's not like a Halloween biome as much as I really hoped there would be. What I've decided to do is find the lava cave and just flood it with as many Halloween builds as I can. The plan for the mansion as well is to add like a little torture area or like a secret sliding room. I've got somebody to help me with the sliding door, not sliding room, that doesn't make sense, sliding door to get you to the room. So there's lots of ideas with all this Halloween stuff going on. Totally forgot what I initially started talking about. Anyway, moving on. So we're just sort of building the next sort of towery hallways. I still don't know what to call them, but either way, that's what we're doing. We have got the angles in that set. You see me messing around with it, trying to get them as accurate as I could. I also played around with the design for the slopes as well a little bit. I wasn't quite sure. I didn't really think any of it looked good. I still am yet to add another bit, and I also play around with the roofs quite a bit as well, but I'll just cut out all the trial and error and I'll just show you the one that worked. But yeah, I think the angles in that worked out really well. I did keep the satellite because it's quite tricky to I don't know, it was tricky to build around it, but also I didn't want to delete it because if I deleted it I'd never get it back because that satellite isn't a piece that you can build. It's just comes with the cave anyway. And to be fair, it's actually kind of hard to see that it's actually a cave as well when you start looking like from a distance and that, which is also good because you kind of want to disguise it. It just looks like it's built into a giant rock. So now we're going to start on the doorways that sort of take us into the cave rooms. Quite a fan of having this, because as I said in the last video, I don't like the green shack sort of coloured pieces, even though I've used so many of them. But what I do is I place them down and I try and disguise the ugliness with like some brown pieces or black pieces around the front, like what I'm doing here, building the frame out of the Tudor walls and the pillars and stuff. Oh, there's a little skeleton hiding up there. So yeah, I do all 3 doors exactly the same. Behind them, all have something different. Obviously, one's a cave entrance and the other 2 are like smaller rooms. And then yeah, so this bit here, I'm just sort of blending the builds together a little bit, just putting some fence pieces down, putting some random decoration stuff in there, even though it'd be quite tricky to fit those in there because it's so tight, but they're in there. Got a little glowy tree as well, some random gravestones. Not really, I don't really have any idea why I put them there, I just did, it just seemed to make sense. Here, what I should have used is black wall pieces, but instead I just decided to use these ones with the little brown bits in them, just to make it as dark as possible. And you're about to see what I'm going to put in here, and it's not a room that you're going to want to end up in. Yeah, you don't want to end up in here because it's game over, I think. We're going to place down an organ. I have no idea why an organ, but I'm just going to place down the sort of prison wall bars that I just seem to be putting on every single room because it's a great idea. Yeah, and as I was saying earlier, I couldn't decide on what to do to finish these doors, so I sort of thought I'm going to put some more triangle shapes everywhere because it looks a bit square as it is. So I feel like just putting this little triangle bit there adds an extra bit of depth, and it also blends nicely into the roof, which I'm conveniently placing down right now. And yeah, as I said earlier, I played around with a few ideas for it. It looked okay, but it just didn't look right as it was. I'd done like this little black spike behind it, so I thought the best thing to do, flatten it all down and just have it nice and smooth. And I've done a lot of playing around with it off camera. I'll just show you me doing one of them because you don't need to see the same thing 3 times. We still got a gazebo that we need to get to yet, so let's just keep it flowing. Obviously I'm biased, but I think this looks great. I've outdone myself this time. Chef's kiss. They probably do kiss. Anyway, onto the last door. So I want to make this as creepy and as dark as possible. So I'm just going to make it with all black pieces, do some side building, a little bit cheating and all that. And then also I need to have the poles that I've got, the spikes for the gel bars, but I want to have them so they're on top, going left to right, upside down, any which way. And it's also a bonus that you have to jump to get in as well, because at first entrance some people might think, oh well, I can't get past. You can, you just got to be smart and jump. All right, yeah, this is going to turn out great. I might shut up for a little bit and just play some music until we get into the actual cave where we can start the second part of this build. It's something that I've sort of built before, and I've probably already told you this, but not on this channel, so make sure you check it out one time. It's going to be really good. Also before I go, shout out Julian Sanchez Jewels, Jouwels. I hope I didn't mess it up. You comment saying, I love the mariachi music you use in all your videos. Makes me so happy. But you know what? It makes me happy too. And you know what I'm going to play right now? Who would have guessed? I'm joking. I'll play the you know what. So far, it looks great. I'm really happy with it. I'm pleased. The downside is when you jump into the cave, it destroys every piece that is like close to the entrance. So I have to rejig it a little bit. It's just kind of frustrating because it looks great as it is, but like the door gets destroyed and some of the skeletons, some of the ebony wood around it. So it is what it is. We'll make do with what we have. Speaking of making do, basically I had a slight problem with the game audio. Must have been something to do with my Elgato that I use. It's like crackling. So what I'm going to do is just try and use some compressors to mute as much of the crackling and keep as much of the other sound, plus me talking and the music and stuff will cover that. So just letting you know if it sounds a little bit different, that's why. And I'm pretty sure I've got the problem resolved now anyway. There we are now, starting on the floor of the gazebo. This is pretty much exactly how I've done it for the modernist on her video, with a sort of grid pattern with the black surrounded by the wood. Also, this video was supposed to come out ages ago. I had a little bit of burnout, but hopefully we can get back on track. So these are just the supports. Obviously support the roof. When the roof goes on, I've done an interesting design for that as well. I did try around with some other designs and stuff, which I'll show you a bit later on with orange walls and that. Did not like it at all, so I figured stick to how it is with the open plan for the cave. I do have an idea to put some other builds and stuff around this, but obviously I'll do that in a different video. So now we're starting with the roof. So what I've done is I've just sort of left a gap between the pieces. I'm going to fill it in some smaller roof bits. Oh, I'm putting down some lights randomly. Okay. Yep, so we're going to put down some other roof pieces in between the gaps, like the little shorter ones. Again, exactly what I've done on the modernist world. And then I sort of fill in the higher up gaps with the little trim pieces. There we go, I like that. Those little trim pieces there. Almost looks kind of like a vent, but I quite like the way that it turned out, especially with because it's all black, so black on black, it looks alright. I could have done the grey ones as a bit of contrast, but I sort of thought I'll just stick to this because that's what I've done before and it looked really good. I'm 99% sure they're all exactly in the right place, but some of them might be a stud or two out. Either way, it all lines up though, so not that bothered about that. So the fire pit, I tried some different designs. I sort of put down a skeleton in the middle and then a fire pit in front and behind to make it look like he was in the fire. So it didn't look right at all. It looked like exactly what I said. Didn't look good. So I've came up with a better idea where I sort of create like oh wait, no I don't. No, here I try to build it into the ground. That also didn't work. This is the correct idea. I made like a little crucifix, little Jesus looking thing, which is kind of very satanic when you think about it. And then I hung a skeleton upside down, so I will show you how I've done that. It took me a few attempts, I'll be honest. It didn't go right the first 3 times, but got there in the end. I've edited all of that so you can only see the good bit. Then I decided to put around some like prison-y Halloween fence pieces to sort of close off the build a little bit, so the people who are being hung cannot escape. That sounds horrendous. And the same here, but because of the weird alignment and there's no single stud pieces, I had to leave a little gap of like the sand in between the floor and the actual fence, but it's all right. Then I also done the pergola roof, which I always seem to do. I thought I'd just put that along here because why not? It goes really well. And again, we have the black pieces for it. These, I think, the Spider-Man rough charcoal pieces, and that worked again really well. For the back, I wanted some red lights, and I tried desperately to hide them. Did not work like the first few times. Again, I was trying to be smart about it, so I figured I'm just going to put all of them down center. Then I'm going to put a piece either side and try and hang something. Hung that pumpkin thing, looked rubbish, like the skeleton had wings, so I just sort of went for this design that you can see now, and I put some fences there just to sort of blend it in a little bit. So these are some seats and like a sacrificial table. I'll sort of go through it more when I show you the tour of it, but you can see where I'm putting down all of the torture weapons and stuff, and behind it like a little preparation table. Really messed up because basically people can sit around and watch you sacrifice someone. So imagine you've just come along to this cave and then all of a sudden there's a bunch of people sitting around watching a sacrifice. I think you would get straight back out of that cave. Cannot escape. That sounds horrendous. These orange ball pieces I thought I'd put down to see if they looked alright. Didn't like them at all. I thought I'd show you just in case, but it would have been too difficult for me to actually incorporate them in the build. With all of that being said, we are very quickly approaching the showcase, so let's jump onto that. We have to re-record the tour because of some dodgy audio, but I suppose it looks better at night time anyway. So as we approach, on the left hand side, we'll go there first. You've got a bed that I said earlier you do not want to wake up in, so we'll run away from that quick. Some gravestones, very random but spooky. Some exterior decorations, again totally random but spooky. And then we've got a cage with an organ, not the type of organ found in the body, but one that you play, but you already know that. These cool prison bar ideas that I've done before where you can jump through. And the first, hanging upside down skeleton. A little look on the outside. It is a Star Wars cave, so we did keep the giant satellite there. I just thought that was a nice little touch. Now let's go into the main entrance. You've got to navigate your way through. Oh, there we go. Ignore the skeletons, they are creepy. I did have a better design for the door, but it didn't work for whatever reason, so it is what it is. Now we have the ritual area. Oh, we froze. He was that scared that he is froze. Anyway, so let's try that again. So you come through, you've got the seating area all the way around. These are the best seats in the house because you can sit down and watch the cutting open, the surgery take place. Here is where you'd have like a priest, an evil priest, I don't know. Someone stood there reading out whatever satanic people read out, curses and stuff. I have no idea. That's not me. Despite that I built this. Yes, you've got your syringes and stuff here, you've got your little chainsaw there, you've got some medical tools there. You'd lie down and sacrifice on here, cut them open, all that sort of stuff, and dangle them upside down on the fire. This is getting really dark. But yeah, got the Doom statues here as well, just a prep area for the patient. And then along here, I might get some help to build some stuff. I'm thinking something along the line of the X Labs cryogenic pods. I don't know if that's a word. Place a room full of these, you know, you can have frozen people in there waiting to be murdered. Who knows? And this is just what it looks like again on the outside. The lighting looks really cool up there as well. I built something similar to this in someone else's world. I thought I'd make one for myself. And yeah, I think it turned out great. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash that like, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and I will catch you in the next one.